In this QuickBooks video, we're going to go over how to configure vendors, or what in AutoPal is called a source company. In prior QuickBooks videos, the first, we've created the QuickBooks file. In the second, we configured the QuickBooks Web Connector, sent over chart of accounts, items and services, and payment methods into QuickBooks to establish the communication between the AutoPal account and the QuickBooks company file. In this video, we will configure the vendors. In AutoPal, a vendor for QuickBooks maps to that of a source company in AutoPal. To access your source companies, it's Settings, Loan Management, Source Company. For this demo account, I have configured some sample source companies. These would be the dealerships that you're acquiring loans from if you're in a standard automotive lending space. If you're in a different type of lending space, then you can adjust this accordingly based off of the source of the loans that you're acquiring. If you are a direct lender and don't have a source company, you will still be required to create a source company and link loans to a source company before you can transmit that information to QuickBooks. So you can enter in simply your own company as the source company, and then you'll link that information. To send over the vendors, we go to Tools, QuickBooks Live, and Company QuickBooks Tools. Scroll down underneath the QuickBooks Setup to the Vendor Management, and we have a list of our vendors. If we navigate to QuickBooks, since this is a new QuickBooks install, and go to Vendors, we are currently empty. If we simply select to send vendor, and I'll click through a series of these, we allow for individual control of vendors because you might want to not have a certain vendor sent over to QuickBooks for a variety of reasons. This is loaded to the queue management a list of vendor add actions. If we go to QuickBooks, put that in the background, and in the front select the web connector, rather than waiting for the auto run to occur, we can select Update Selected, and in the background we shall see on the vendor list the creation of a list of lenders. When it creates the lenders, we can see not only does it create their name, but it also sends over their company name and the address associated with that vendor. If we go back to AutoPal, now that that's completed, we can search and refresh the queue to make sure that it's empty. Go back to the Company QuickBooks Tools, scroll down, and we now have a green check mark on each one of the vendors. That's all you need to do to configure your vendors to send them to QuickBooks. Common problems are if you already have the name, the exact name of the vendor in QuickBooks. Now QuickBooks will verify a variety of types, so if you're sending over a vendor with dealer site, if we edit this vendor, the exact name here underneath the vendor name, not company name, but here for vendor name, if this exact name exists as an employee, a vendor, or a customer in QuickBooks, it will get an error and say this name is already in use. So your options are to edit the existing name that's inside of QuickBooks by adding a dash or some unique component to it so that you don't get an exact match, or to make the name that's inside of AutoPal unique. Most likely these are the same company and you've just already created them in QuickBooks. The reason you still need to make it unique, but once you create it from AutoPal over to QuickBooks, you can merge those two if they're the same type. Meaning if you have a vendor with this exact name and it's already in QuickBooks, and then you create that vendor in AutoPal and you're trying to send it over and it's receiving an error due to a duplicate name, you need to make the name unique, say in QuickBooks, send it over from AutoPal, it will create the original name, and then you can merge the two, making sure you keep the parent or the master merge of the exact name that's in AutoPal. This will let you merge all of the historical transactions as well. Other than that, the vendors are straightforward, and these will be the vendors that checks are written to when we do a funding transaction in the next video. Thank you for watching.